Was in the post, wasn't it? That public backing by the club. So, 18 months after taking over at Meadow Lane, Johm Barnwell is looking for another job.
Johm Barnwell arrived at Meadow Lane, billed as the man to launch a new era at the oldest football league club in the world. Just before Barnwell came Chairman Derek Pavis, a former Forest director, bringing a determination to try and steal the spotlight from the City ground. They pinched some players, but never broke out of the shadow. Johm Barnwell had tasted success with Wolves. He certainly knew of the good times. Emlyn Hughes is one man who can vouch for that. But Johm Barnwell also knew of the bad times. A car crash not only forced him out of the game, it nearly killed him. Once at Meadow Lane, Barnwell invested in experience. Gary Birtles and Gary Mills came from Forest, Jeff Pike from West Ham. Barnwell spent over £500,000, but the old pros were running out of steam. Pike has been dropped this season. After missing out on promotion last year, this year Notts have struggled again. Within the last month, Barnwell got a vote of confidence from the chairman. He signed Stuart Rimmer, the most expensive third division player ever. But the end of Barnwell's reign was already scratched out. There was to be no recovery. And December was the end of the line. Barnwell left as he arrived, with County still in the shadow of Forest. Today, he said quite simply, "Football is my life. I survived a car crash. I'll survive this."
Well, Derek Pavis, chairman of Notts County, Johm Barnwell was one of the most popular footballing figures in this area.
That's right. That's right. It's very sad. Today is a very sad day that we've had to dismiss John, because he's done such a professional job for the club in all aspects, except the most important one, and that is results on the field.
3 weeks ago, though, you gave him a vote of confidence. So
right.
why have you sacked him?
Well, there was that much pressure on John and the players 3 weeks, 4 weeks ago, that I thought it would be right to go and give a vote of confidence to John through the media. And I thought, or we thought, that that would take the pressure off John and the players. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. And the results haven't worked out that way.
Now, very quickly, I think Notts County fans will be anxious to know if you've got another manager in mind or how soon there'll be an appointment.
Yes, there's one or two managers I would like to think that they will apply for this position. We're advertising in the the media on Monday.
Paul Hart's a name that's been mentioned.
Paul Hart is now employed at Chesterfield Football Club.
Well, we'll be talking about the contenders in a few moments, Em, but first of all, what about your reaction to this? Barney was a good mate of yours.
Barney's a cracking fella. I mean, he was manager when I was playing for Wolves and we won the league championship. But it never ceases to amaze me when the chairman of Notts County, Derek Pavis, can turn around and say, "What a super fella Barney is. He's done a great professional job for us," yet he's sacked him.
Yeah.
I mean, what goes on with these people? I mean, he's listened to 200 or 300 people who've been stamping their feet at ground. And Barney is a super fella. And I know Johm Barnwell, he will have been working 7 days a week, 24 hours a day to make Notts County a football team.
So what went wrong? I mean, did the experienced players that he bought, I mean, did they let him down?
Well, I don't think they did, because I saw Notts County 2 or 3 times last year, and the best players they had on the pitch were the likes of Jeff Pike, Gary Birtles, the kid they got from Forest, Gary Mills. Yeah. I mean, they were doing great jobs for him.
They missed out on the chance though last year, didn't they?
They were guaranteed certainties to go into the second division last year until about 5 games from the end, and just missed out. And then the playoffs came along and never made it in the playoffs. Yeah. But, I mean, it sickens me when chairmen come on television and say, "What a super fella we've just sacked."
Yeah.
You know.
But he's been manager, what, 18 months? Is that long enough?
No, it's not long enough. It's not long enough. It's not long enough. Definitely not. When you're in charge of a football club, you've got to bring youth team players out, and he's brought a cracking young kid in Dean Yates, this centre half. Apparently, everybody in the world's after him. He's brought him out. He's brought people actually go to watch Notts County now, whether they were winning, losing or drawing. They were coming away and saying, "I've enjoyed the game." And yet they've listened again to the 200. He's probably gone home and his missus had bended his ear and said, "Did you hear them? And they're after you, love," you know, to the chairman. And the chairman said, "Oh, we can't have this. They're not going to give me stick." And again, bowed to the pressure of the mindless few.
Well, now let's find out who is going to take over. John Newman, the caretaker manager. Paul Hart, who's now boss of Chesterfield. Billy Bremner, he's looking for a job. Or maybe Colin Murphy, who's at Lincoln. Any of those, Em?
Well, you look at the four, and now John Newman's in charge. He's took over since Barney's left. Paul Hart has just gone to Chesterfield, as the chairman said, so I would reckon he's out of it. I mean, you can't just go and poach. Billy Bremner's a free agent. Billy would certainly be a strong contender. And Murph... Murph's brilliant. He does have a bit of a twitch, does Murph, but he's a cracking fella, and he's a great lad. So, I mean, if he's available, but he is in charge of Lincoln.
Yeah.
He is in charge of Lincoln, so...
I thought it was the underarm spray I've been using.
He's out of it if he's in charge of Lincoln.
There is another contender, though. What about a managerial comeback for this man? That man there, Emlyn Hughes, as boss of Notts County. No, come on, what about it?
You've set me up here. I didn't know this was coming in. Tomo, you've had a directive to call you, Tomo. Tomo, you're not on there, pal, no. I'm enjoying things at the moment. I'm enjoying being able to give stick, never mind take it.
I don't think he wants the job.
Definitely not.
What about one man I'm sure you
Please don't ride in. It's quite safe, Notts County fans. He won't be coming to Meadow Lane.